my name's Amanda and welcome to another one of my quilt block tutorials. So in earlier versions of these tutorials you may have seen me sit in front of this wall hanging before. This is made up from the pattern that I am demonstrating to you today. The reason why I'm showing you this block is because I've had a few requests to show you how to make this block. It is my own pattern, and just like all of the patterns that I have made so far, they're really quite raw and innocent. I'm not the best pattern maker. I am no professional. I do not have any professional type tools on my computer or anything like that. They're all done by hand and then transferred into PDFs. So if you would like to do this pattern yourself, there is a link down below to the pattern that is free to download from my blog. So this block is constructed using the foundation paper pieced method. If you are new to this technique, I would highly recommend you check out this video linked here. It is a video that I made last year all about the basics to foundation paper piecing. In that tutorial I go through every single step and tool that you need to use to do a very successful foundation paper piece flying geese block. So that link won't take you away from this video, it will open up into a new page, so once you've watched that video you can come back here and enjoy this video. So this is the block that I will be showing you how to make in this tutorial. It is totally made up out of all of my scrap fabrics. The wall hanging behind me is also made entirely out of scrap fabrics. I also did this block in another colorway, just all blues, and I just put a little bit of yellow in there for, you know, creative sake. So enough of my chatting, let's get into how this block is made. To make this block you will need a sewing machine, the pattern, which is a free download from my blog, a glue stick and a pair of paper scissors, a quilting ruler, a small rotary blade, a finger presser and serrated tracing wheel, thread snips, and a selection of scrappy fabric strips freshly pressed. First, roughly cut out the pattern around the outside lines. Then, slowly score holes along each of the lines you'll be sewing on with the ruler and tracing wheel. Doing this will help you rip away the paper easier once the block is finished. Starting in the middle, take a scrappy square that measures at least ½ inch over the lines to section 1. Turn the pattern over and dab a small amount of glue into the center of the square. Then stick the fabric square on top. Flip the pattern back over and fold down the line between sections 1 and 2. Place the ruler on top and line up its ½ inch seam line along the folded edge, and then cut off any excess fabric. Next, lay out a strip of fabric big enough for section 2, right side up. Place the pattern on top, lining together the top edges of both fabrics. Once you're happy with the placement, open the pattern back out and carefully pin all 3 layers together. At the sewing machine, confidently sew on top of the line between sections 1 and 2. Remove the pin and, if you wish, snip off the long trailing threads. Then turn the pattern over and firmly press open section 2 using a finger presser or iron. Flip the pattern back over and rotate it anti-clockwise so that section 3 is now at the top. Fold down its line and then, using a ruler and blade, trim the edge down to a ½ inch. Place a strip down that is big enough to cover section 3 and align the 2 fabric edges just like before. And then open out the pattern and pin all 3 layers in place. At the sewing machine, sew on top of the line that separates sections 1 and 3. Remove the pin and snip off the threads, and then on the back firmly press open the seam to section 3. And so from here continue the same steps as before to complete the rest of the block. As you go along you'll find a natural rhythm in the way you work by repeating the same order of steps over and over again. So before I come back to show you the finishing stages of the block, here's just a little montage of my block coming together. At the last section, which is number 17, fold down the line and trim the edge down to 1/4 inch. Place the pattern over the top of the scrappy strip, ensuring the ends are reaching past the edges of the paper. Once you're happy with its position, open up the pattern and pin all the layers together. Then, at the sewing machine, start the stitch from off of the pattern, guiding it onto the line, and then finishing it in the same way. Flip the pattern over and firmly press the seam open. Before trimming down the edges of the block, give it a good press with a hot steamy iron. With the paper side up, trim off any excess fabric from around the outside of the 1/4 inch seam allowance lines. Then, with confidence and a little bit of patience, fold the paper down and then gently rip it away, starting at section 17 and working backwards. And that's how I make my foundation paper piece Wonky log cabin block. So there is just the very basic way of how this block comes together. I hope you like the way that I have chosen to edit this video, because the construction of this block is pretty much the same step over and over and over again. I didn't want to sort of bore you with going through absolutely every single step. So hopefully you are able to sort of understand the way that this block comes together. Now if you're interested in how this wall hanging has come together, it's pretty much just 9 of these blocks pieced together in all different colorways, from red to yellow, blue, purple, green, grey, black, brown, pretty much all the basic standard colors that you find in the rainbow. And like I said at the start of the video, it is purely made out of scrap fabrics. You can definitely use fabric by the meter or jelly rolls or layer cakes, anything that you like to make up the block. So I really hope you enjoy making this block. If you are going to make it, please send me a picture of what you make. All the places that you can find me are down below. I would love to see what you have made. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you another time very, very soon. Bye!